But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I do really miss that. I think actually my first ever experience with Pokemon was probably seeing ads for Ruby and Sapphire on TV in 2003 or something. I really don't remember much of it at all. I just remember that there were ads for it, and that was it. And also around that time, the end of Gen 4, there was, or even during it, there were all the, you know, of course the spin-off games that were playing at the moment, that also connected to the main games. Not really with the Mystery Dungeon series, but with especially Ranger, and Battle Revolution, of course, just all sorts of things. There's tons of games coming out revolving around the end of Gen 4, and it was amazing. But those days are long over now. They're long gone. And there were plenty of sort of mod showcases on YouTube around that time. I remember one video of here's versing Brendan and May, and I think it was in Dragon's Den, and that everyone had a team of level 100, and you fought alongside Lance, and it was ridiculous, and I loved it. Anyway, this song is the best song in Kingdom Hearts, bar none. I love this song to death. Another one of my favourite game songs of all time. This is Cavern of Remembrance. Let me say that not like a dunce this time. Cavern of Remembrance. Yeah. From Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Not the HD version. This is the original soundtrack version, which I feel is the only, really the only song of the original soundtrack that I prefer. Anyway, this is such a gorgeous song. I love it to death so much. Better than any other Kingdom Hearts song, in my opinion, without a doubt. I just love the whole concept of the Cavern of Remembrance. You know, the secret, especially because it was Japan only for a long time. You know, this secret section in Hollow Bastion that I'm sure many kids back in the day saw online and went, whoa, how do I get to there? And thought that was in the vanilla game, and were trying so hard to blast away the wall and access the Cavern of Remembrance. I never did, because I didn't play Kingdom Hearts until last year. So, yeah, I've been catching up on a lot of franchises that I never had the chance to play years and years ago. And you know, you go in there. There's no cutscene. There's no voiced cutscenes, obviously, because it was made after the original version, so there were no. They didn't get the voice actors back to record anything. And you know, you go in there, and it's super difficult. These amazing themes that are playing. And there's platforming, and you know, which was sorely lacking, especially with the amazing movement of KH2. And they put it to use, and you were using all the drive forms, and it was amazing, and I loved it so much. And the whole, you know, getting into the Garden of Assemblage and fighting Data Organization. Why are they here? Why are they Data? Who did this? What's up with that? Anyway, I love that so much. Anyway, here we got not really story progression, but definitely story. It's just not really that relevant story. So now we're heading to the Pokemon Square to see a bunch of Pokemon we haven't seen before, all gathered around. So this is where I like to appreciate the amazing sprite work of this game. Because everyone looks so cool. Like, look at Golem, look at Blastoise. Mr. Mime looks a little goofy, but look at Octillery, look at Rhydon, look at Raichu. Anyway, Alakazam and his goons are, well, not doing too well, supposedly. Can't exactly check, but, well, we haven't heard from them in quite a while. So, yeah, I don't know where all these Pokemon came from. It's not your usual, it's not your standard Pokemon Square fare. You know, all these Pokemon we've never seen before, but that's fine by me because they look cool. There is seriously a part of me that wants to be able to play as these Pokemon, have them on my team, and create this team of 4 and explore dungeons with them, but that will take a lot of grinding and a lot of luck and a lot of time because recruiting them is never a guarantee. So that's my struggle with going back to revisit this game. Just a lot of grinding, and just in order to get to the point where I want to be and do the stuff that I want to do, there's a lot of stuff I have to do beforehand that's not exactly that fun. Anyway, the people in the square start to form this elite team that we never really get to know. Imagine like a B grade Alakazam team. Blastoise, Artillery, and Phanpy. No, that would be pretty good though. I mean, who's gonna challenge a Phanpy, honestly? And then Golem. So there's your 3. Though we never really get acquainted with them or care about them like we did with Team Alakazam, so pretty inconsequential really. This scene is filler. This scene doesn't have to exist at all. It's really only here to say, hey look, we got this strong team you've never heard of before, but they're going to go take care of things while you have to do more pointless rescue missions to pad out the game length. It can't be helped, said the developers. We'll keep doing things as per usual, so yeah. I don't know if I was running around in circles due to rage or the controller being interesting. So yeah, we have a bit more to do before we can get access to the dungeon that they're in. We have 23 minutes left on this recording session, so it's actually quicker than I thought. But my advice, even during these times, these tough times, game-wise at least, you know, just try to accept as many missions as you can for one dungeon at a time. So maybe you can get 3, you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone, or you know, 2's also pretty good. So that way you can quickly get through the quota for the amount of missions you have to do. And even then, make sure that they're not just... Don't just go to 2 different missions in tiny woods there. You know, try to go for decently challenging missions. They're not really challenging, they're just, you know, in later dungeons. So, yeah, I would recommend that because you still need to get some experience before going into the next dungeon, because there's definitely a bit of a spike, not really spike in difficulty, but I notice a noticeable increase in difficulty since you've been away for so long. Anyway, Heracross, Waster, or whoever said there. And this song playing right now is also fantastic. I'd hope so. That's why I picked music that I personally enjoy for these segments. But this is the Paradigm Shift theme from Final Fantasy 13-2. I haven't played 13-2. Or 13 for that matter. Really, the most recent Final Fantasy game I've played is 10-2, which I despised. I hate 10-2, I'm sorry. I love 10, but I hate 10-2. So yeah, I haven't played anything recent. But I do love this song, that's for certain. I love this like techno orchestra sort of style, it's really nice. Well, I mean, 64 Helper owns Final Fantasy 15, but he hasn't played it yet, and nor have I. Open world games aren't really my cup of tea, if I'm honest. I usually just think, cool, yeah, no, it's fun to explore, but you know, unless there's a really good reward for exploring, I find some really good stuff. I don't really feel the need to. So Xenoblade X, it sort of has that problem where I love exploring that world, but I don't really feel like I get anything substantial for doing so. Of course you do get stuff, it just, you know, oh sweet, a new mining point, I can get more Moranium. Stuff that doesn't directly benefit you immediately. That being said though, I still love to explore in that game, because I just love Mirror. It's just fun to explore. I love alien worlds like that. So a good example would be Breath of the Wild. Well, a better example would be Breath of the Wild, because, you know, well, I suppose any Elder Scrolls game would also be pretty decent, but the only one I played is Oblivion, and even then I couldn't get into it really. I just found it boring. What was I saying? Yeah, Breath of the Wild, because you'll usually find what are they called? Shrine, or a chest with a good reward, like a sweet ass sword, or you know, something like that. Or a shrine, which you know that if you take it on, you beat 4 of them, then you can cash in your shrine tickets, essentially, for some more health or stamina, which is always a pleasure. My problem with weapons though is that they break, so you know, I think, sweet, look at this awesome flame sword I got. Can't use it though, otherwise it's just gonna break and I'll never get to use it again. So anyway, so open world games aren't really my cup of tea. I want to say life simulations are around about the same boat. I still like open world and life simulation games. It's just, personally, I'd rather play something that is a little more, not super linear, but you know, a little more focused. That isn't so focused on, whoa, there's player freedom. You can go wherever you want. Cool, but what am I supposed to do? You do what you want. Yeah, but then I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything. I always want to feel like I'm making progress when I'm playing something, you know? So that's probably another issue I have with life simulators, or not really simulators, but just games like Animal Crossing or The Sims. I don't really feel like I'm making progress after playing it. This is my problem. Back to that in a second. This is a fantastic song. It's a little tonally clashing with the rest of the songs I've been listening to, but it's metal as hell and I love it. This is the first Megatron battle theme from Transformers Devastation, which I previously Let's Played on easy, which is killing me because I just couldn't be asked to, you know, try multiple times at a boss fight for a recording session. If I redid that, I'd do it on normal at least. But yeah, I love this song. I love the soundtrack. It's one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in any piece of media. And I love the game. It's fantastic. There's just a lot of my regret comes from Let's Play being played on easy. Same with the Cybertron games. Granted, my excuse for both of those is that by the time I was Let's Playing those, I hadn't really had much experience and was pretty terrible at third-person shooters and character action games. Now that I've become a big fan of the Halo series, I feel like I'm much better with shooters now, and I'm much more confident playing it on harder difficulties. Whenever Ben comes over, we always, or even personally sometimes, I will try to play Halo games on Legendary. Same with Devil May Cry. Remedied my inexperience with character action games. So I've beaten Devil May Cry 1 and 2 for that matter, but that's not really an accomplishment because it's so easy, on Dante Must Die. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in a video game. And it was difficult as hell. And I've at least beaten DMC3 on hard, and that was pretty it wasn't too difficult.